If Egypt and Israel were to clash, the ripple effects wouldn't be confined to just these two nations. The entire Middle East and even the global landscape could feel the consequences. The region has already seen decades of conflict, and another war could worsen already fragile situations in neighboring countries like Lebanon, Gaza and Syria. Refugee crises, humanitarian issues and further destabilization could spill over into surrounding areas, putting additional strain on already overburdened international relief organizations. The economic implications would be massive too. For Egypt, the Suez Canal is more than just a waterway. It's a critical source of revenue and a major point of influence in global trade. Any disruption to the canal's operations could send shockwaves through global markets, causing shipping delays, driving up oil prices, and impacting supply chains worldwide. Israel's thriving tech industry and its status as a startup hub could also take a huge hit, with cyber attacks and physical infrastructure damage hampering business operations and investor confidence. Moreover, if key Gulf states get pulled into the fray to support Egypt, the stakes get even higher. These countries rely on the stability of trade routes and regional partners to maintain their own economic growth. Conflict could lead to shifts in oil prices, impacting economies far beyond the region, especially in Europe and Asia. The AI's analysis emphasizes that this isn't just a regional issue. Global superpowers have a lot riding on how Egypt and Israel handle their current challenges. The United States, with its historic ties to Israel and growing relationships in the Arab world, would face a balancing act in any conflict scenario. Washington would be pressured to support Israel while also maintaining its newly cultivated alliances with Arab nations through initiatives like the Abraham Accords. Russia, always looking to expand its influence, could seize the opportunity to deepen its ties with Egypt, either through military or diplomatic means. Moscow's ongoing competition with the US in the Middle East could see it take on a more proactive role, potentially using the conflict to push back against American influence. Meanwhile, the European Union, heavily dependent on energy supplies and trade from the region, would likely push for quick de-escalation, fearing the impact on their own economies. And China, with its growing investments in Middle Eastern infrastructure and trade routes under the Belt and Road Initiative, would also have a vested interest in avoiding a drawn-out conflict that disrupts its strategic plans. The AI analysis highlights a crucial point. While war may seem like an option, the real battle is in preventing it and finding pathways to peace. Both Egypt and Israel are aware of the costs of conflict, not just in military terms, but in human suffering and long-term regional stability. Leaders on both sides have tough decisions to make, but the opportunity to pivot towards dialogue and diplomatic solutions remains open. In the past, both nations have shown they can make the difficult choice for peace, as seen in the historic Camp David Accords. The question now is whether today's leaders can rise to the challenge and build on that legacy. It's worth noting the role that AI and modern technology can play in not just predicting conflicts, but actively preventing them. With real-time data analysis and predictive modeling, AI can provide insights into areas of tension, likely flashpoints, and the effectiveness of different diplomatic strategies. This could help policymakers stay a step ahead of potential escalations and make more informed decisions to de-escalate situations before they spiral out of control. Technology isn't just a tool of war, it can be a tool for peace, enabling better communication, more transparent negotiations, and faster responses to crises. As tensions continue to simmer, the path forward for Egypt and Israel is fraught with challenges. Both nations face internal and external pressures, and their choices in the coming months could either diffuse or ignite a larger conflict. But the AI's analysis makes it clear that there's still hope for a peaceful resolution if leaders on both sides are willing to engage in meaningful dialogue, backed by regional and international support. In the end, the future of Egypt-Israel relations and the broader Middle East rests not just on military capabilities or strategic alliances, but on the willingness of both sides to put aside differences and prioritize long-term stability. It's a reminder that the most critical choices in geopolitics aren't always about winning a war, they're about winning the peace. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. Whether Egypt and Israel choose confrontation or cooperation could set the tone for the region's future, impacting millions of lives and shaping global dynamics for years to come.